Hey there, welcome back to my channel. So today we have another one of this Portugal Trip Series hauls. This is all the inexpensive fragrances kind of divided up with two niche fragrances actually, but they are decants and they're from Royalty Scents and I got them while I was away. So I wanted to show you guys. I'm really excited about both of them as well. But there's also a very special one, which I will start with because it is a year and a half, 2 years in the making, and I'm so happy to have picked it up. So if you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe and let's get into it. So the first one is a fragrance that I'd heard about in 2019, I think. And in 2020, I tried to find it in Portugal and it was sold out. And I just figured it kind of disappeared and I can't believe I found it this time. Honestly, I think it was written in the stars. So that fragrance is very inexpensive and it's from H&M, believe it or not. So here she is. It's called Lipstick, literally just Lipstick by H&M. It was in this little collection. I think there was like 8 or so fragrances. I got t-shirt and something else last year, or in 2020, yeah, last year, because I couldn't find this. It was the only one that was sold out in the H&M and I was so upset, and they don't sell them here in Canada. I don't even know if they sell them in the States. You guys let me know if you ever saw these fragrances in your H&Ms, but they're never in ours. So I had very little expectations, little to none, that I would find it this time. And you guys know, if you know me, a lipsticky scent is the best kind of scent in my book. And apparently this one was really great. So I went in to my final H&M on like my last day, I think, or my second last day. And there were no other like fragrances in this collection because it was an older one, or maybe they were all sold out, except for this. I saw this and I freaked out. It's as if it was waiting for me, honestly. And right behind her was a second one. There was 2 and I couldn't bear to leave it in the store. So I do have a backup. I know I promised you guys that I was never gonna buy backups again, but it's in these situations where you gotta break your own rule. And they're only €5.99 euros. So I was like, I might as well. They're 20 mils, they only come in one size, and all of these fragrances I actually have tried, but I've only tried each of them once. And I'm filming this video, so I don't really remember, like I'm gonna have to refresh my mind. But here she is, I'm so, so happy. I like sprayed her right away when I got back to my hotel. So let's remind ourselves. Okay. Firstly, I just have to say the hype was very high for this because of my own searching and my own, you know, aspirations to get it. So I'm going to be a little bit more critical than you should be for a $5.99 fragrance from H&M. That being said, I love it. Like, I absolutely love it, and I'm so happy that lipsticky fragrances are becoming more and more prevalent, because for a long time they really weren't like the vibe. It was very hard to find them. And I really do like this, like I really do like this take that this H&M fragrance has. I will say it leans kind of in the middle ground between like a lip glossy scent and a lip sticky fragrance. And for me, those are very two distinct things. Because like I've got lip gloss scents and lipstick fragrances, and I feel like there is a difference. If you're just kind of like a normal medium fan of a lipstick fragrance, I don't think this is going to be an issue for you, but this is kind of, it's towing the line between the two, which actually is nice, but that's the kind of like distinction that I'll make, because it has a cherry lip gloss half to it. And I like that about it, but I didn't know that that was going to be the case 100%. It's not a full lipsticky scent. It's got that cherry lip gloss scent, like very 90s, very me. And then it has kind of like a waxy, powdery rose half to it as well. And that's more the lipsticky side to it. So personally, obviously I love both sides and I'm really into it. I actually think it smells more mature than I thought it was going to. Or that maybe you would imagine that it would, because it's like from H&M and it's only a couple dollars, but it doesn't smell like super mature and like very extremely sophisticated. So don't get me wrong, but I mean, I just love it. Like, I'm really happy to have it. If you like lipsticky fragrances, you won't be disappointed, but I just wanted to give you guys that like insight where it's definitely got like a synthetic cherry lip gloss scent to it as well. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's lipstick powdery, but it's definitely not too hard, like too far down that road, because it can get way more powdery. So I wouldn't be like thrown off by that at all. There's never really any notes that I find, like it always just lists the note lipstick. But if I had to guess, I would say there's some cherry in there. There's some musk for sure, maybe a little bit of vanilla. Those are the kind of notes that I got. So I'm really happy. I've got 40 ml of her now. I haven't opened this one, obviously, and I'm gonna put her next to the other ones that I have from H&M. I'm really happy that I was able to find it. So if you are able to find it wherever you live, definitely recommend. All right, so the next two are from the same house, and it's a house I'd never owned before. I've only ever seen them in Europe, this brand. I think they're a Spanish brand, so you know, might as well take a look. And that's Vittorio and Lucchino. They might be Italian actually. Aguas de Vittorio and Lucchino. I'm not sure, but they had a limited edition one. There were so many of these scents, you guys. If you look at their website, there's like 1,000,001 scents, and this one, there was this one and another one that were like on like a Spanish limited edition. So there was Cordoba and Sevilla, and there were no testers, so I decided to just pick this one up. I really liked this color, and it's called Cordoba and Flor. Cordoba's an area, and then so like in flowers. And I was like, you know what? This might be my thing. So this has bergamot, narcissus, rose, pink pepper, jasmine, gardenia, patchouli, and musk. And while I don't remember what this smells like, I do remember right when I smelled it, I was like, this is a 100% dupe for a fragrance, and I can't figure out what it is. And even now, I can't figure out what this is a dupe for. Whatever it is, and I've been on the hunt. Like, I need to check my entire collection. I might have to go and one day see like my mom's collection as well. Like, there is a fragrance for which this is 100% dupe for. Like, not even 99, like 100%. It is so reminiscent of that. It's a very pink pepper, rose floral. There's like very little change in how this like fragrance smells on the skin from like opening to dry down. It kind of smells like this the whole time through. And honestly, there is a pretty strong like peppery patchouli as well, which isn't usually my thing, but because it's throwing me off with how much of a dupe it is, like I really want to find what this is a dupe for, because whatever that fragrance is, it's infinitely more expensive than this. The Aguas de Vittorio Lucchino, they're all around like 10 euros or something for these huge bottles that are 150 ml. And they're made in Spain. It says right here, and they're all eau de toilettes, but they actually last a pretty good amount of time. And I felt like that was such a good deal. And I got like my friends in Portugal and everyone to smell it, and they really thought it was like, what is this reminding them of as well? They had their guesses, but it wasn't, nothing was the one that I'm thinking of. So I'm still on the hunt. If you've ever tried this, I know it's niche, but if you've, I mean, in terms of like finding it, not that it's a niche brand, but I know it's going to be hard, but if you've ever tried it, what does this remind you of? And if you have this brand around you or can pick it up, I really recommend for getting it in terms of bang for your buck. So I think I actually will wear this, especially going into colder weather. It is a floral, but it's definitely got a pepperiness and like a kick to it. It's not usually my vibe. It's quite honestly mature smelling in my opinion. But it's the kind of scent that I feel like other people really like smelling on me rather than me smelling it on myself. So That's Cordoba and Flor. The second one that I got from Aguas de Victoria y Lucchino is an iris fragrance, and I had to. So I only wanted to get two because, like I said, there was like a million, and I settled on iris because I thought, you know, the box, I kept the box of this one because it's actually quite pretty, and I wanted to show you guys before I throw it out. Again, 150 ml. This is in their like normal range, so it's not limited edition, so you can pick it up whenever you want. And this has iris, mandarin, nashi pear, rose petals, muguet, amyris, amber, and musk. And I'll take her out. And this is what this one looks like. So this one's clear, you can see the juice, and it's got kind of a light green juice. And we'll explore this one as well. I kind of remember it, but again, right, okay. So what surprised me, or that like was interesting about this one, and it's got a really nice spray on it, is I was expecting it to be a lot more of like a synthetic iris where it's like powdery, and I was just imagining kind of more like the iris from Prada or so many of my other irisy fragrances where they really like nail in on the powderiness of the iris. Whereas this, I feel like smells much more like a realistic iris floral. And that makes it more green and citrusy and bright and way less like pure powdery. So at first I was like sort of disappointed, but I think it's just got a little bit more of like a fresh spring vibe to it. It's got like some sweet citrus and a really nice like soft greenness to it. It's kind of like petally, and like dew on florals in the morning is kind of what this reminds me of. I really do like it. It actually is nice in a way because it doesn't smell like any of my other iris fragrances, so it's definitely not going to be like a dupe or too similar or feel like I shouldn't have gotten it. I was just really surprised. So a good thing for you guys to keep note of, like this is not, if you're going into it looking for a super powdery iris, this is not what that's going to be. But if you're looking for something a little bit more green and fresh, that is a really nice one. All right, so now we're gonna move to the two niche ones, but I'm putting in with the like inexpensives because they're, you know, decants, and they're both from royalty scents. So these were my August ones, I guess, or my Septembers. I'm honestly not even sure. And we'll start with the Creed. So Creed is a house that I own some fragrances from, and I've tried fragrances from, but they're very hit or miss for me. They're very like absolutely love or turns my stomach and I don't want to wear. And I've learned the hard way not to blind buy their fragrances anymore because of that. So Aberdeen Lavender is their lavendery fragrance, and that's the one I got here. And this has rosemary, artemisia, bergamot, lily, lemon, lavender, tuberose, rose, patchouli, leather, and vetiver. So it was intriguing to say the least. Again, I always leave like royalty scents information in the description box below. It's just a link to their website if you're interested. I like how they always have like their own atomizers. There's different designs and colors all the time, but I never finish mine in time for the next month. Like I have way too many fragrances, so I like that they always come in their own. And this one, I'm so glad I sampled because it is 100% not for me. This is, in my opinion, a very odd and unique take on a lavender fragrance. And it's one that I really can't see why you'd ever need a full bottle of. Like it's just, it starts out very kind of green and medicinal with its lavender. And the opening is my least favorite part of the fragrance by far. It's the part that I feel like turns me off the most, and it almost like itches my nose, to be quite honest. as it starts to wear, because like I said, I have done a wear test on this before, it does get better because it starts to remind me of Pour un Homme by Caron. That's a really nice like soapy lavender. And in that way, I like it because it has a lot of the same notes. It's a little bit floral, it gets softer, and it has that kind of slight soapy quality to it. But it takes a while for you to get there, and Pour un Homme, you can find it for like 30 bucks for a large bottle. And this is so much more expensive than that. And I just would never need to splurge for this if the only really addition is that herbal, almost like medicinal nose scratching opening. So I will continue to wear this. Like I'll do kind of wear tests, and sometimes, you know, it'll be a good one to include. I want to do like a lavender fragrance video for you guys. You guys have mentioned you want that, and now I've got a whole bunch. So it's definitely one that I'm going to include, but this is why I always sample or decant with creeds, because I've learned my lesson. They're very hit or miss, like love or hate for me. And then the second one is Souffle de Soi by Christian Dior, and it's in their exclusive range. See, this one is just like the white packaging. They come in a whole bunch. And this one, oh, it looks like I've tried it. Yeah, a lot more than I thought I did. I thought I only wore it once. Okay, yeah, I love this one. So this lists jasmine, rose, tuberose, elemi, white musk, patchouli, violet, vanilla, and cinnamon. I really do like this one. It did kind of surprise me though, because not because of the notes, but just from the name, I expected something a little bit softer and more, even more feminine than this. This is more interesting than what I was imagining though. It's definitely got like a slightly resinous, fresh floral. The tuberose in this is not in any way like bubblegummy, so if that's not your vibe, I don't get that at all. It's kind of like white florals with a little bit of like a patchouli resin. And I will just say, because my skin really brings out cinnamon, if there's even like a drop of cinnamon in a fragrance, I feel like it's so amplified on my skin, and I don't get any cinnamon in this. So it might just be very little in the base, it might be my nose or my skin, but I wanted to point that out because I know people get really into like fall time or like warm fragrances that are spiced. So those are like super popular on YouTube, and in my opinion, this is not going to be that, or at least it's not that on me. So I do like it. Again, this is the kind of thing where I'm happy I have a decant. I won't be going out of my way to purchase a full bottle of that, especially for the prices that the exclusive range is from Christian Dior. That's just more of like a like for me personally. And then the last one was this super inexpensive fragrance I just saw on the go, and I thought I might as well try. It's called Crazy Dreams by Chic and Fun. It's an eau de toilette, and it's 100 ml, and these were kind of just sold in little like perfume shops and pharmacies and stuff. It looks like it should be a body splash, which I had no idea, but it actually is an eau de toilette. And it has pomelo, orange, jasmine, lily of the valley, vanilla, and tonka. And I'll just remind myself, I'll spray it in the air. I do actually like this one. It's got kind of like a slightly citrusy, and yet still like vanilla tonka. Like there's a sweet creaminess mixed in with the citrus, and I find myself actually really into it. Again, it was super inexpensive. I think it was like €6. So I don't mind, and I'm happy to have it as part of my collection. This is probably, again, really only going to be readily available in Europe, or Western Europe more specifically, but some of you guys live there or travel there, so if you've ever been curious, I think it's fun to just have in your bag or have in your collection. It's really like an easy reach type fragrance. So I hope you guys enjoyed this inexpensive haul. Let me know in the comments below which one of these fragrances you'd most like to try, or that you have tried. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye.